I am the Doctor, this is my section. Earth is under my protection. Planet of birth is Gallifrey. I've got two hearts, your life is saved. Run into the Master Raw Messi. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not rich. 12 bodies a man. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else? Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's that, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, mustache. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride. It's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space. Oh, what's that? Exterminate.
Cybermen or Daleks, maybe.
Would you like a jelly baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go. A new adventure, Geronimo. I am fantastic, so are you. Best come with me. I'm Doctor Who. Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH. Yay. Chan, I am your host, though. I'm Adam O'Sullivan. Joined as always by my co-host. I was only saying hello. It's Nicchia Shoot.
Isn't it nice to have Jack back flirting with everybody?
Yeah.
And you weren't only just saying hello, you had your pants off. So
No, well,
I just want to point that out.
I was saying hello with my penis.
Yes, yes. Not as much fun as you think, but hoo-hoo.
I mean, that's what Captain Jack got in trouble for. Anyway.
Yes, it is.
Please welcome our guests. Humans are coming. It's the awkward charmer, Chris Martin.
Oh, hi, yeah, it's me.
And the host, Scott Driscoll.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
for having us.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, God, shut
And-
up. This
no.
insincere
Really,
thinking.
really love the penis welcome.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Really
Scott,
good.
what do you think of my penis? No,
Well,
anyway.
the paint slightly to the left is a really decent fashion choice.
Well,
thank
that
you.
is true. I did think that. First of all, I thought it just was a long nose or something, but then I realised...
It took a lot of conditioning to get it to go that way. Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's the saying? You ever seen a really small tree in the forest with a really big branch? And you're like,
That's a saying, apparently.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's just not scientifically normal. But hey, Adam,
I've never
Adam's hung like King Kong.
Okay.
Ladies.
Well, I want to know who's the person who goes around being like, hey, you ever seen a little tree with a big branch?
It was from an episode of Just Shoot Me,
Right.
and David Spade's character
Oh,
apparently has
okay.
a really big dick.
Yeah, yeah.
And someone had a sauna with him. It was like, hey, we're trying to describe. You ever seen a something small in the forest with this really big branch?
Oh, man. So when you say a saying that everyone says,
It was
you
from
mean
Just Shoot Me.
you mean
Yeah.
Just Shoot
Yeah.
Me.
Have you ever
The
seen that
90s
one particular episode of
No,
Just
I
Shoot
haven't,
Me?
but
I saw that one, Chris.
I did love Just Shoot Me when I was
I did too.
growing up.
I
That
was
was
very
great.
underrated.
You could possibly have just said baby's arm, because we have actually heard that.
I think that's worse somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
A
true.
baby.
It's really kind of gross for
I'm
babies.
going to plow you with my baby's arm. Okay, this isn't working at all.
Who's your daddy? Not you.
it's-
It's Max Shoot. Get out
Well,
of
I
here.
hope it's not you, because otherwise this is going to get real weird.
This is
Very
creepy.
awkward.
So we have the two of you on the two titans of D4WH. You have both been on 7 episodes each. They're staring at each other across the thing, and Chris
gonna
called
jump over
called
the
out Scott in our 100th episode while we were drunk.
Yeah, and then
so
I
we
got
thought-
a text message saying, hey, what the fuck was it?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fucks?
I think that the text message said, "When did I shit in your Wheaties?"
Yeah, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, because Scott texted me, and that's when I was like, oh shit, I haven't told Scott that Chris thinks there's this rivalry between the two of them. Oh no.
But also, we could have been drunk, so it could have come across a bit like, fuck that guy. Like
was fairly aggressive.
Schoolyard stuff.
I don't know if you've listened to the episode, but we went into detail about what exactly you would do to
Oh,
Scott.
no, I listened to it, yeah.
Yeah, I listened to
Pretty
it
sure I
too.
said I'd kill him at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Scott turns up dead, like, mate, you are on the hook.
We kept telling you not to give you killing plans on the
You had
podcast.
like a map to where his house was. You had a picture of his body and what you were going to do to each orifice. Oh, it
He
was
keeps
crazy.
standing outside my bedroom window, which is
with
really
a
weird. On the second
with a
floor.
boombox playing "I'm going to kill you." Like, yeah.
Well,
get
yes,
ready.
He walked right into my trap. I'm like,
I'll go
plan
in the same room
one,
with
do
him
an
now.
episode together.
Oh,
Plan
no.
one: generate a lot of evidence.
We're moving out of here. There's going to be a lot of blood to clean up in this room, right?
Oh, you're not getting that bond payment back. That's for sure.
No. God, twice the
Carpenter.
bond clean now.
Yeah. First reason why you don't get bond payment back is people mess the carpets up. Second is murder. Yeah.
Murder.
I actually think
Damn it.
Scott would be quite a polite murder. He'd be like, ooh, I'm just trying to hold blood in so it doesn't leak everywhere. I'm so sorry.
I want you to get your bond back.
I apologise, Nicchia.
Maybe kill me on the tiles.
Oh, okay. Or in the bathtub. You just go straight to the bathtub.
I apologise for my innards falling out.
I would be the
I'll
opposite.
pick them up
Stab
later.
me once and my entire body would explode. Be like, fuck you! Clean that up!
Just once?
Yeah, just once, yeah. If I get picked...
You'd be like writing something, like a pen hits
Oh, I've
you.
got a paper cut. Fuck! What happened to Adam? They found his guts all over the walls.
Or
I'd
you
be cranky.
deflate. You deflate and just fly around the room like a balloon.
Yeah. As my guts spew all over that.
yeah.
So welcome if this is your first episode of D4WH. We're so incredibly sorry.
I thought we went off to a great start.
Yeah, it was
My
fantastic.
favourite start. I'm opposite. When I get stabbed, I get bigger and bigger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the Hulk. You're like, you wouldn't like me when I get stabbed.
No, I don't go after them. I start destroying the city they came from. I go after their loved ones.
Stop stabbing him. He's getting bigger. Rah, rah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris. That'd be me too. If anyone even hits me, I get angry. I would be so cranky.
And what about you, Nicchia? When you get stabbed, you just bleed and die? Is that all you do, huh?
No. I'll take out their loved ones. I'll bleed on their house. I'll plant them a facer on the way out of
Takes
there.
you months to die while you hunt down all their
Where
family.
you live, I'm going to bleed on your house.
Nichia, are you John Wick? Are you John Wick?
I am
Yeah.
very John Wick, I do believe. Yes. It takes a lot to get me angry, but if you tried to kill me, yeah, that would work. I would
You get stabbed
pretty
and then you're
pissed
like,
off.
all right, I need to know exactly where all your family lives. If you could just write that down in this book, that would be great.
I am taking down every person you ever fucking knew. Thank you very much. That's it.
Oh, that's my plan. I get Nicchia angry. I'm like, my biggest love is Scott Driscoll. And he lives in the Fortitude Valley.
And then as soon as you sick her on Scott Driscoll, you're like, oh no, I do actually love Scott Driscoll. Oh no, I have to stop him. And it's like a sitcom where you have to like, no, Nicchia, don't kill Scott Driscoll.
I just got a
Killing
bottle
Scott.
of rum on top of the story bridge. Like, what is my life without this rivalry?
Well, see, the thing is, too, halfway through the story, she'd actually get it wrong because ex-Redcliffe MP Scott Driscoll also lives in the house.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's hope I get the wrong one.
The greatest of storytelling, I jump off the bridge and kill myself, and then Scott emerges from a bush, and then gives Nicchia $100.
Yeah.
And then they walk opposite way.
I thought you were going to say Scott comes out of the bush, puts on his Christopher Martin costume, and then goes and lives your life. And then he lives a double life as both you and Scott Driscoll.
Wow. Well, that would be fun.
Then he's part of Impro Mafia and Big
I don't
Four.
know if he'd have much sleep.
No.
What? You don't sleep, Chris?
No, I was just living a double life.
Okay.
It's strange that Chris Martin now sleeps all night and Scott Driscoll sleeps all day. It's so weird. But anyway,
And their calendars are strangely synced. They're always really close to each other.
yeah, and now Christopher Martin sounds exactly like Scott Driscoll.
And I've never seen them in the same room together.
Except when he does, and he has to unbury my body.
We
And
can
do some sort of
burning
weird
style.
puppet thing. Like, hey, it's me and my good friend Chris. Like,
Do you remember that time I saw Scott and Chris in the same room, and Chris looked completely decomposed? That was so weird.
Really good makeup. They were doing a two-hander where Chris was playing a zombie.
Yeah, you just book shows where it's just you and like, fuck, why do I keep doing this? I have to keep digging his body up.
Well, I always think I'd be like the Family Guy and he fights the chicken.
Yeah.
That'd be it. I'd be just, whoever it was, I'd just be fighting them all over town.
Right.
Fantastic. All right, today's episode, we are looking at Utopia, Season 3, Episode 11, directed by Graham Harper and written by Russell T Davies. Originally aired on the BBC Saturday, June 2007. We start as we always do with a short synopsis. The Doctor and Martha arrive in Cardiff, 2007, to recharge the TARDIS. Jack Harkness tries to make contact with the Doctor, but ends up sending them to the farthest reaches of time and space, further than any Time Lord has been before. Here, the final remaining humans are surviving against the Futurekind. Professor Yana and his assistant Chantho are preparing the rocket to take them all to Utopia, the signal out amongst the dying stars and their last hope. But Professor Yana's backstory is murky. He doesn't remember anything, and he has a fob watch similar to a chameleon arch. In the end, the Doctor will learn that he and Yana are pretty similar. In fact, you are not alone.
Yana.
Yana.
Yes.
Yes.
I kind of thought this episode, because it was the one before the big two-parter, and I had really low expectations of it when it first came out. I thought, it's not going to be real good. It's going to be one of those lame-o ones before they hit you with the big one. So I was pleasantly surprised by this one.
Had you not seen it before?
No, when I first watched it in 2007. No, I've seen it quite a few times now.
Well, I always lump it together with the last two episodes. Obviously, Russell T Davies considered it to be two separate stories, but I always think of if I'm going to watch the last two, I have to watch this one first to go into those two.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but you didn't know at the time. They didn't give you any sort of hints. I mean, I didn't know the Master was coming back, didn't know Jack would be there. So it was a really good, lots of surprises.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know who the Master was, but I knew based on how
wouldn't have, would
based
you?
on how they presented it, like, oh, this must be something from the classic series.
Well, I had no idea what the fuck was going on the whole episode. Because I'm like, who's this Jack dude that has a big history? And then this guy at the end who's like freaking out over a pocket watch. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, it's a pocket watch.
That's really interesting, because one of the things I read was some people doing reviews saying you don't have to know the history of Doctor Who to appreciate this episode. And I thought, really? I'll ask Chris that.
No, I hated it. I hated it, but I think that was mainly like we'll get into it. But go to the end that's the end of the universe. Fuck you.
Yeah.
What? You don't believe that there's a planet?
I don't believe. Where's where are the cloud people and the floating car highways and stuff? He said one thing. He's like, oh, they must have gone to clouds and then gone back to this. Bullshit.
Yeah.
They're floating around in clouds and go, hey, you know what's better than this? Paying tax.
Yeah.
And war. Because our last thing.
Having two arms and two legs.
One cloud just went, I miss masturbation. Like, okay, we're back to the human.
Yeah. We're a cloud. You can just think it and you have an orgasm. Like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Well, they didn't have that in the brochure.
This doesn't make any sense. And then, and then there's those weird, whatever.
No, I love when he's walking around being like, always revert back to the same shape. And then the subtext is because it's way cheaper for the cast and crew.
Yeah, they're always going further than they've ever been before. And the cannibals with the pointy teeth, the
Futurekind.
Yeah, the Futurekind, I didn't buy that. That was the part of the story that I didn't like. And the one who snuck in.
Yeah.
And then not only did they not notice the teeth, but then they had to snarl every few minutes.
That's right.
Did no one go, why is that guy snarling?
Do you reckon that stranger who refuses to show us her teeth is a bit sus?
Yeah, who never talks to anyone and hangs out with himself. No, it'll be fine.
I'm going to give her access to all the important rooms.
Keep snarling into corners for no reason.
Yes, yeah.
I dropped salt and pepper myself, and she was like, It was really weird.
She only talks to people by putting her hand in front of her mouth and being like, nah, me human, me hungry. And they're like, oh, would you like some food? Human food.
Hang on.
Yes, it's food for humans. Yes.
Yeah, that was weak.
That was ridiculous.
That was the weakest part of this whole episode. I just didn't get it. But anyway.
Yeah, and kind of didn't go anywhere.
Well, she doesn't need to be there because what does she do?
Point to it.
She turns the power off, and then Yana lets him in anyway. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and someone else could have turned the power off. I mean, God knows that there are enough dickheads out there who'd be protesting people going off to bloody, don't leave, you've got to do this and turn it off. I mean, we've worked out that no zombie apocalypse movie will ever be right unless some idiot is protesting that it's not really happening.
We're not really the last humans on Earth. Fuck.
I was more confused, right? Because I watched this episode with Taylor.
Yeah.
And when that dude first ran, right at the beginning,
Jack.
that Jack dude ran thing, she went, oh, it's face in the jar. And then never said anything after that. I was like, what does that mean? She's like, oh, he never dies.
So
yeah.
Taylor knew.
Well, Taylor used to watch it,
Yeah.
but then she stopped watching it because
I thought you were saying in the episode. I was like, when did they go,
he's
it's face in
she's
the
like,
jar?
shoot your face in the jar. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
So he's Jack, Captain Jack, who we suspect eventually becomes the face of Bo, who's face in a jar, pretty much.
Who at the end is the guy who goes, "You are not alone."
Ah.
That's face in a jar.
Now, is "you are not alone" like a master catchphrase or something?
No, it was an acronym for his name's Yana. Professor Yana is "You are not alone." I don't know.
Okay.
It's a bit of a stretch for me too. That's the other bit of the episode I don't like.
It shows a bit of pre-planning. Like he's called himself Professor Yana because he knows that the face of Bo has said, "You are not alone."
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. It's another bit that I just don't get. I don't like. I think it's too contrived. But
Yeah.
that and the humor and the Futurekind.
Is it like S.H.I.E.L.D. where they went, we really want this to spell S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so. Yeah, that's probably true.
What does SHIELD stand for?
Depends which version of it you're thinking of. Like the movies are different to the comics are different to a bunch of other stuff.
What does the D stand for?
Supreme Headquarters. Insert. I don't care.
Something division.
They're like large dick.
Dick, yeah,
Do we
yeah.
really need to have the LD?
It has to speak. Has to do. The rest of the letters mean something else, and then it's like Shield Intelligence Officer, large dick. Like, what's the? It has to spell Shield.
It's based on one of those really, really old sayings everyone knows from Just Shoot Me. So you would know it, but yeah.
You ever seen a Thor in the woods? Has a really large hammer.
I have no idea what shield means.
Ironically, it's funny because Thor's an alien, so he has no dick. No, I don't know.
Maybe.
Could be different.
Could be different. Yeah, it could be a corkscrew, like a pig or a duck.
Isn't he a god? Wouldn't it be like when he takes his pants down and goes, no,
Yeah, it's a tiny penis, but when he takes his pants down, it just goes, no.
It's actually an opera singer.
Is humans, their penises not opera singers? Because
It's a bit embarrassing. Yours doesn't sing, eh?
He's got Luciano Pavarotti in his pants.
La la.
all right, Cardiff, 2007. Cardiff, 2007. The Doctor and Martha make a pit stop to refuel the TARDIS on a rift in time and space. I assume that other planets also have these rifts as well, although it would explain the Doctor's obsession with Earth.
Well, it would, and I'm sure they do, but, you know, apparently with us, we're so stupid you can park a blue box and have monsters attack you, and then the next day we'll all go, what? What happened? I didn't see it. Nah.
Yeah.
So wait, is the TARDIS fueled? It's fueled on what?
The energy from the time vortex.
Or whatever the writer of the episode wants it to be.
I can understand why there's a time rift in Cardiff. I've been there, and time stands still. Little burn on Cardiff. Go fuck yourself.
What were you in Cardiff for?
I was just like 10.
Just hanging out.
10
Okay. Oh.
I actually got attacked by a swarm of wasps in Target.
Really?
In Cardiff. Yeah, my parents were in like a castle. Looking around, I was
Cardiff
outside.
Castle.
I was outside in the grounds. I had a stick, and I saw this thing on a tree, and I stabbed it. And then,
So you didn't quite so much get attacked by...
I egged them on.
As a revenge
I went over,
killing.
I pissed on them. I went, "You stupid wasp!"
And then you flipped the bird at them, and you were like, "Fuck you, wasps! Bees are way better. They produce honey." And they were like, "Let's get this guy."
And apparently,
let's get this guy.
Apparently it was quite comedic. My parents were like at the window talking to someone, and just me behind was like, "Ah!" in the back.
You grew up in a sitcom, is that correct?
I did. Yeah, it's Just Shoot Me.
David Spade's your dad.
That's right. Yeah.
They were just taking revenge on your ass. You know that.
And then
don't
in the
you?
background, they just see you go like, "Ah!"
No, but because they're inside behind glass, you can't hear the
Yeah.
Well, I will say I've been to Cardiff and I thought they were all very friendly and lovely, although a lot of the young boys had flat, large foreheads that I think perhaps there's a lot of headbutting going on at night.
Yeah, so they double as at night as a drive-in movie theater screen.
They were very nice and kind.
All the young men of Cardiff get together and form a movie screen.
I don't want to stand still tonight, Mummy. Shut up.
I get to watch movies, but only on my forehead and only in reverse because they're showing it somebody else.
Dear, oh dear.
So, yeah, that's what Cardiff's like, yeah.
Yeah, I was quite young, so maybe it wasn't as boring. I don't know.
It's very cold.
Scott, have you been to Cardiff?
No, I haven't.
Oh, there you go.
There's a rule. There's a law in it's close to Cardiff, but it's on the English side that it's still one of those old, those old crazy laws that still exist.
Yeah.
That you apparently, if you see a Welshman after dark in this town, you're legally allowed to shoot them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's still a law, but I hope that in 2021 they'll trial and convict such a person.
Yes.
They were like, nah, one of these crazy laws. It's allowed. Oh, fuck.
Those Welsh.
Do you think
people
maybe we
know the
should
rules.
repeal this law? Maybe eventually.
Hasn't come up for
What
a
are
while.
you? Are you Welsh? No.
No. Take off his mask. What do you mean? I don't have a mask. They just rip his face off. Like, oh, he's got skin and bones under here. He must be English, I suppose.
Crazy rules. They've got one in New York still that you face the death penalty for one particular act, which is jumping off a building, which I assume you're already dead by the time your act has been completed.
No, but while you're falling, they throw a noose down, get you on the neck, and then hang you. Yeah.
Does it have to be above a certain number of floors? Like you could jump off a single-story building and survive.
You sick piece of shit.
You could, but it does seem extreme, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You just jump off a single-story building and you survive. People, he survived. Kill him. Hang him.
I used to do that when I was a kid. We had a trampoline and we'd climb up on the roof of the house and jump off the roof onto the trampoline and then off the trampoline into the pool.
Absolutely.
We had a water tower at the house I grew up in, and my brother, we had my parents had these old cardboard boxes, and he did them up and put them on the ground. He's like, jump. I was like, no, it's too far. And he's like, oh, I jumped. It was fine. I was like, okay, well, if you jumped, I'll jump. And so I jumped. And then he's like, oh, wow, you survived. And I was like, what? Didn't you jump? And he's like, no, I didn't jump. So then we spent the rest of the day jumping off this water tower.
God.
That reminds me of a sketch from a Britain. I can't remember the show, but it's from Britain, where they did a sketch where the guy wanted to commit suicide, but instead of jumping off a 30-story building, he jumped off a 1-story building 30 times. And by the 15th time, he was actually quite injured, and he had people gathered around watching him, and they're like, "We want to see this through," so they helped him up and were pushing him up.
Oh, God.
It's quite funny.
I like the idea of someone going before a judge and they were like, what's that? You murdered 3 people, life in prison. What's that? You jumped off a building? Die, motherfucker, die! I was just base jumping. I don't give a shit.
You die.
That's even worse, wearing one of those flying suits. Fuck you, die!
Death penalty.
And then they have the injection. You're of time families. He just jumped off a building. Like,
It's
no, I'm sorry.
It's only one story.
The guy who murdered 3 people is like, yeah, I'm already off on parole.
What if you're escaping a burning building?
Death.
You know the rules.
That's right. They don't change no matter what.
Yeah, okay.
The fire department come out with the tarp to collect you, and they're like, jump. They're like, no, I know, you're trying to get me to die. And I'm like, come on, jump. We won't tell anyone.
And somebody's behind getting the noose
And then they
ready.
turn around and like, yeah, you jump from it. Kill him.
You jump off, you land in the little the tarp or whatever it is, and you look up, and the first fireman's got a little black hanky on his head.
Yes. Or you jump from the building and then they move the tarp and they were like, this is your death. Look, oh, fuck.
Yeah, the little black hanky, and you will be hung by the neck until you are dead.
I'll just put me back in the fire.
Yeah, gosh.
Oh, my God. So we've done one line so far.
Okay, let's go.
It's fine.
I did like at the start, though, where the doctor, very obviously blanks Jack.
Yeah.
He sees him on the screen and just hits the go button.
Yep, there's a cut there. He's cut him out.
He's like, I don't want anything to do with Torchwood. That's too adult for me.
Yeah.
So did you know about Torchwood, the spin-off?
I've heard about it in previous episodes.
So Captain
doing
Jack
this.
was running Torchwood, and that's where he's come from, basically. Literally, if you watch the first season of Torchwood, at the end of it, he hears the TARDIS and runs out, and then that connects to this, where he's running to the TARDIS.
Yeah, so he was introduced in Doctor Who, then the Doctor just leaves him, which pissed me off.
But the Doctor hates him, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because he can't die, so he's
he's wrong.
Yeah.
he's like a constant through time.
A fixed point in time.
So he left him. Yeah.
That affects him how? That why does it? Because why does that?
He just doesn't like it.
Because he's a time
But he
lord.
can't die himself. He regenerates.
That's different. That's
Does he look at
natural.
Hugo? You son of a bitch! I fucking
Well, actually, no.
hate you.
I think there's a really good explanation in that. That's what the story says.
Yeah.
Captain Jack went off to have his own spin-off, so they were all like, oh, he's not going to appear on the show every week, so they're like, fuck it, do your own spin-off.
Yeah. So I was really pleased to see him back because it pissed me off that he left him just in the middle of nowhere at a century that wasn't even his, just buggered off. So I didn't like that. So it was good that, Jack turned up. And it's always good to see Jack.
It's always good to see Jack on the main show. Martha asks about the earthquake in Cardiff, which the doctor says was some trouble with the Slovene. I mean, it was little more than an earthquake. A massive Ghostbusters-style portal opened up in the sky, and energy was being sucked into it, but sure, earthquake.
Yeah, because we're all stupid.
We all forget. On the screen, the Doctor sees Captain Jack running towards the TARDIS, calling his name. He sets the TARDIS to leave, but Jack throws himself onto the outside. This causes the TARDIS to flip out and travel to the ends of time and space.
Yeah, so it's not just the Doctor who doesn't like Jack. The TARDIS doesn't like Jack either.
Well, I don't like Jack either.
Oh, controversial.
You just have a rivalry with everyone, don't you? You don't like Jack, you don't like Scott.
That's
You
right.
don't like me, you don't
If
like
I kill
Nicchia.
Jack, I go to the
Yeah.
top of the Story Bridge. I'm like, what is my life? And then him and Scott emerge out of the bush.
And they both become you, and there's now like two Chris Martins. Yeah.
No, see, that would work really well because then we could match up our schedules.
Yeah, that would make it easier.
Yeah.
And occasionally appear in the same room.
Yeah, when I messaged you to ask you to be on the podcast, you were like, am I the host yet? I was like, no. Nicchia and I still host the show. Like, nah, okay, all right, but soon I'll be the host.
Yeah. I'm just waiting.
On the planet Malcasero in the year 100 trillion, a human is being hunted by the Futurekind. You can tell the Futurekind by their pointy teeth, and some of them have tattoos on their face, which I'm sure they'll regret when they get older.
Exactly.
Yeah, and in all those failed job interviews.
That's right. You're 80 and you look in the mirror and go, what was I thinking?
Yeah, they're at a job interview going, me, human, one job.
Face tattoo is cultural.
Cultural, me not eat anyone. What's that? Daughter entry? Me expect at least 70 grand a year.
Yeah, what are the point of them? I don't get them. Anyway.
They needed a bad guy. They needed a, weirdo.
I know. There could have been a better way to do it. But it's I like the lighting.
Yeah.
I like the mood. I love, Graham's directing in this. I think
quarry.
it's really good. And it is a nod to classic Who, is it not?
Yeah.
To have a quarry.
Yeah.
Is it Earth in 100 trillion years? Or
No,
is
it's
it
a
just
different
place
planet,
in
yeah.
100 trillion years? Okay.
It's at the end of the universe, basically.
Yeah. One of the things that struck me, though, at the start of the episode where that guy's running through the quarry being chased by the cannibals is he historical Earth reenactor in his clothes? Like, obviously, there's still buttons and zips.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, cargo pants are still a thing in 100 trillion years, huh?
Who would have thought that, hey?
At the end of the universe, the only stores to survive are rivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then most of the science fiction places, things you see, everybody's wearing the same thing, and that's never going to happen, right?
Shiny jumpsuit with a colourful swish across it.
Yeah, we can't even get everyone to wear a bloody face mask, so they're not all going to be wearing the same thing.
Guys, you forget that it's explained in the story. It's to save money on the cast and crew.
All right.
But in fact, in saying that, if it's on the edge of the universe, then their evolution would be much less than where we are at the moment. So maybe they're only a couple of 100 million years into their planet's history, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So maybe they just got over the dinosaur bit.
So they've evolved to the 1990s.
Yeah. Or 1890s.
Yeah.
That's right. What's going to happen to them? Is it just that planet just going to blow up and then that's it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, they said they've been surviving for thousands of years. I don't know if it's been on that one planet. But they've been through all the major landmarks. They've had the dinosaurs. They created movies.
Yep.
They had We're Back, a Dinosaur Story.
Yep.
And
then Jesus came.
And then Jesus
and
came.
they were like, screw you. And then
Yeah. And the Futurekind ate him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jesus
Body of
fought
Christ.
Godzilla, and then today. Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
is it exactly the year 1 trillion? Because that's really coincidental.
It's
Very
much of a
specific,
muchness.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I love that the Doctor measures. I was thinking about this the other day. I love that the Doctor. It's a good thing that the Doctor measures everything in Earth time and not, his own. Like we know the Daleks have rels.
Yeah, he doesn't do it in rels, which
Yeah.
would really freak us out. I suppose it's because he's talking to a human, so he measures in human
Oh,
time.
it's been translated for us. The
Ah,
TARDIS is translated
Yeah, and
for
we
us.
were talking. I've been doing an online Doctor Who improv class, and we were talking about how the TARDIS translates everything. So when someone uses a Earth idiom, it's basically the TARDIS going, "Oh, this is the similar sort
It's
of
the
thing."
equivalent.
Yeah. So maybe the Doctor says it in Gallifreyan. Oh, this is the year blah 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 in Gallifreyan, but it translated as human 100 children.
yeah, maybe.
So
What?
Chris is looking confused. So the TARDIS, wherever they go, translates for anyone that was inside the TARDIS.
Nah,
psychically.
it doesn't.
It
Yeah.
does translate alien languages.
What were they? Do they have to be
foreign-
inside?
No,
it-
once
yeah,
you've been in.
So wait, I can park the TARDIS on the other side of Earth, come over here, and it'll still be like, "I got you, B. I got
Well,
you, buddy."
in series 11, the TARDIS is like on a different planet,
Yeah.
and it still manages to translate all of the aliens around. So
And I
yeah.
bet the story that whoever was in charge of production that week went,
Yeah. How do we do this? Well, I mean, in the TV show Stargate, the way they explained it was on every planet they're on, they don't speak the same language, but it's Daniel Jackson translating for them. So for the sake of the episode and not having to pay to do subtitles and have someone else say the line again and then say the line again, they just went, well, Daniel translates so they can all communicate.
Okay, fair enough.
It'd be great if they dubbed every actor on that show with just
so
the guy
good.
who plays Daniel.
They should
Yeah.
make each episode double the length and have his have his translation there.
Have him
No,
translate
no,
every single
no.
line.
Having been to a full-on Catholic wedding with communion in 2 languages, you never want to ever sit through that. They say it in one language, then in English, and then blah, 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 blah.
Was the other language like Latin?
No, it was, and I don't remember which one, but it was one of the areas from the former Yugoslavia. I don't remember which one, and I don't want to offend anybody.
Vague Eastern European.
Yes. Anyway, it seemed to be a lot longer in one language than in ours. And then we'll kill them all and then sit still.
Have they ever done an episode of Doctor Who where they've met an alien race and it said something and they've all been like, looked at the TARDIS and it's like, "Meh."
Yeah, remember when the Doctor was the Sycorax?
Yep.
When the Doctor had regenerated and his brain hadn't worked properly.
Yeah.
And no one could understand, even though Rose had been in the TARDIS, she couldn't understand the language until the Doctor was...
Yeah, the Doctor
better.
was knocked out, and therefore the TARDIS wouldn't translate, even though there's probably been multiple episodes where the Doctor's been knocked out,
Well,
and the TARDIS definitely does translate.
regenerated,
Yeah,
not
true.
quite fully himself.
So was he like the Wi-Fi extender?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He's
was
like
the
your
booster,
modem.
Yeah.
So they translate through Doctor Who.
Through the Doctor, yeah.
Oh, okay, so they both have
Sort
to be
of.
present.
Then he
The
woke
TARDIS doesn't just go.
Then he
"Yo."
woke up and it started translating in English.
Yeah, and we don't call him
So
Doctor Who.
it's all about the Doctor then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the TARDIS can go get an upgrade and be like, you need a new Doctor. We got a 5G Doctor here. You're like, sick.
I recommend for the size of your house, you need about 2 or 3 doctors, one in each corner.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll get a new Doctor.
But then there's also been multiple episodes where they come out and they'll be like, why isn't the TARDIS translating this language? Oh, because it's very old, older than the universe or something.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
basically just a MacGuffin
That's
where they're
not
like,
possible.
we don't want to translate this.
Or it's outside the universe.
Yeah, outside the universe, and therefore
Yeah.
we don't translate it.
Or the story requires it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, that's Doctor Who. It's not hard science fiction. It's fantasy, science fiction, adventure, fun. If you get bogged down in the details, you won't enjoy yourself too much.
The hunt interrupts the Futurekind leader's impromptu open mic night, and Professor Yana notices both this and the TARDIS landing on his surface scanner. There's that weird bit where he's like, anyone here from local? Anyone here like to eat humans? We all do, right?
humans.
Yeah? What's your job, huh? Eating humans? Me too.
I like that Martha's trying to give Jack CPR.
Yes.
And he's really excited about it. And he said, don't flirt. And she goes, oh, I don't mind.
Yeah. No one ever minds. Even the insect woman's like, yes, please.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Professor Yana and his assistant Chantho are trying to figure out a way to Utopia, humanity's last hope. Yana hopes that the coffee will be better in Utopia, whereas Chantho is happy drinking her own internal milk.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I almost went, ugh.
Yeah. How do we think Yana likes his coffee? Internal milk with 2 sugars?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say so.
He's a NATO standard guy.
Yeah.
I hear she stands still every now and then and goes,
She froths. Yeah, that's yeah.
and then she jumps up and down.
She gets real excited. She's like, Chan, your milk is frothed though.
She is her makeup and stuff is really good, I think. I think, the way it all works and stuff, I really liked her.
Yeah.
You sort of took to her character.
Another reason where it's like, oh, I'm the only one left of my race. Why is that? Oh, because we could only afford one costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that because that was her home planet.
Yeah, that was her home planet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought of a open mic joke that
Go on.
the early person could say.
Futurekind, yeah.
Hey, how do you say the voice? Do the voice?
Hey.
Hey, I ate a human elbow the other day. Tennis tastes good. Ching ching. Anyway, thank you very much.
Hey, leave him alone. I like elbows as well.
Hey, it is first time. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
It's type 5.
Yeah. Futurekind raw. You bring one human and then you're allowed to enter.
Open mic night is 2 human minimum.
We eat him on the way out.
You can't have earned 5 humans for comedy, otherwise you can't enter Raw. Also, do we think that the last crop the final humans grow at the end of the universe is coffee, or Yana just has a stash of instant coffee?
Oh, he's probably just got one of those great big jars or tins of international roast.
The catering size.
International roast, and he's just, I'd shoot myself if I had to drink international roast.
At the end of the universe, the last 2 things you can have are Twinkies and instant roast coffee. Nescafe.
I love international roast.
Oh, it is the worst coffee.
Because I wasn't
ever.
I was not a cafe person growing up, so I didn't. I just ate a lot of just canned coffee.
Yep.
And I didn't even know when you went to a cafe that I thought what they gave you was just really nice tinned coffee. For a long, long time until I went to Sam Clifford's house and he's like, do you want a coffee? I went, sure. And then it took 10 minutes for him to grind beans. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? This shit comes in cans, man.
Yeah.
And then he made it for me and I sipped it. I'm like, this tastes like a long, normal coffee. It has no difference to the other stuff. So,
wow, this is great instant coffee. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
To this day, there's still not much difference to me.
Really?
Yeah.
You obviously do not have a cultured coffee palate.
Can we please not insult our guests while they're on the show?
Well, no, but that's true. Some people.
The one thing I said not to say to me, Adam, the one thing.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry.
You know how cultured my palate is?
Don't worry, I don't have an olive palate. I cannot eat any olives. Good, bad, or indifferent. So there you go.
We're like the opposite person.
You love olives?
'Cause I love olives, yeah.
Yeah, and I love good coffee. So there you go. If we were one person, we would have olives with coffee.
Yeah.
I think I just threw up my mouth a little bit.
And then I'm sad because I've killed Nicchia. And I'm on top of the story bridge. I'm like, what is this rivalry?
And then I come
jump
out of
off
the
and
bushes.
you come out of the bush with Scott and Jack Hammer or whatever. It's
Captain Jack.
Captain Jack, and you give each other $50. And
Yeah, we all walk in different directions.
Every story ends with someone assuming the mantle of Chris Martin. It's like Batman. Multiple people can be Chris Martin.
I just don't know why I get so emotionally attached to my enemies.
I really like the Ben Affleck version of Chris Martin.
Yeah. Got rid of the shoulders, which was weird.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to the day that I walk outside, it's a bit dark, and Chris comes around and go, uncultured coffee palate, did you say?
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Well, here's a cricket bat.
Yeah. All coffee tastes the same.
Sorry. I just don't understand international roast. Just sucks.
Well, see, I grew up in pubs, so we always had like a National Roast or Nescafe number 43 in little packets.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought coffee was for the longest time as well.
Same. My mum had instant coffee, but usually it was like the no brand instant coffee. And so for ages I was like, oh, I don't like coffee because it tastes like crap. And then I had a cafe coffee and I was like, actually, this isn't that bad. What the hell?
Best cup of coffee I ever had was in a tiny little coffee shop in Fukushima Prefecture in Japan.
Oh, really?
Where you walk in and he closes down 3 months of the year to go around the world and collect new
Coffee,
coffees.
yeah.
But you walk in and you explain to him what you want out of a cup of coffee, what your perfect cup of coffee is, and then he makes it for you.
It tastes like pizza. It's doughy. It's like, maybe you just want to go to
Pizza? No, I want a cup of
I want
coffee.
a cup of coffee, but it's like it's round. It's cut into slices.
And then you walk into a pizza shop, you're like, it gives me a shot of caffeine, and it's like got milk and two sugars. And
See, I didn't start drinking coffee until I was 40. Never drunk it before. I'd only ever drunk tea. And it was only that I had the worst hangover in the world. I was doing a course when I was working for the army, and we'd been out for Danish or Belgian beers, and we had a lot. And they were going off to get stuff. I said, get me a tea. They came back with a cappuccino. I felt so sick and I thought, I hate coffee, but I drank it. And after that I went, ooh, I like coffee. Coffee, good.
I'm addicted, baby.
We always drank tea growing up.
Sure.
So.
I like tea. I think
I like tea.
prefer tea to coffee.
Yeah, usually
I think
I drink tea over
a
coffee.
good peppermint tea.
Oh, not peppermint
a
tea.
good black tea.
I don't like a flavoured tea. I like it just a normal
I like
Earl
black
Grey.
tea.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Beverage Chat.
Welcome back to Beverage Chat.
Where we had that weird Doctor Who fucking side.
And now we can get to the good stuff. This is the reason I started the fucking podcast, is to ask people what their coffee, and then I make the coffee for you, and then I bring it out, and it's all Nescafe.
Finally, we can all talk about tea and coffee.
I like the idea
not a
that Chris
tea guy.
goes in, explains what he wants out of a cup of coffee, and the guy just pulls out an instant roast, and he just pours that in, and he's like, oh, this is amazing, the best cup of coffee I've
guy
ever
like
had.
crying. I went overseas.
I went to have this amazing coffee, which I can never have
That
ever
was
again.
a joke section.
Right, moving on.
On the surface, the TARDIS has landed. Captain Jack Harkness lays dead on the ground, and Martha tries to resuscitate him. Martha is shocked when Jack comes back to life, but the Doctor doesn't seem surprised. He tells Jack off for saying hello to Martha, because even a hello is flirting for Jack.
Yes. And
Hubba hubba.
Jack's very pleased to see the Doctor, and the Doctor's very cool. Very cool about the whole thing.
He's
This
like,
is-
whatever.
It's an interesting that Martha gets a little bit more of an education about travelling with the Doctor.
Yeah.
That you can get left behind like a stray dog. So I would hope that would wake her up. But
Jack recognizes the Doctor even though he's regenerated and says that the Doctor abandoned him on the game station in the year 200-100. He asks about Rose Tyler, who is listed as dead, but the Doctor gleefully tells him that she's alive and stuck in another dimension.
yeah, he's very pleased about it, isn't he?
Oh no, she's fine.
And you can just see Martha going, oh, bloody Rose.
Oh, she's blonde.
Yeah,
She is.
I did love that line.
So do they have a weird relationship or something?
Who? With the Martha and...
Yeah.
Well, Martha's in love with the Doctor.
But the Doctor still goes on and on and on about Rose.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do the rebound thing just yet.
But also he's told her multiple times, this means nothing, I'm not in love with you.
Yeah, but then he gives her other,
Yeah, okay.
He says, he does this, come here, come go away, come here. It annoys me anyway.
That's how I get you to do the podcast.
Yeah,
I go, come here, go away. You're like, you're in my house, go away.
Wait, all right, I'll step out in the yard.
Captain Jack used his vortex manipulator to travel to Earth in the 20th century to meet up with the Doctor, but he overshot it and ended up in 1869, where he ends up working for Torchwood, the spin-off show. Martha finds out Rose was blonde. Turns out even Time Lords prefer blondes. Mm-hmm. The Doctor is sick of the two of them blogging, a very specific reference, for a few years in the 2000s.
Yes.
So if they made that now, would it be TikToking
TikToking or YouTubing.
or podcasting?
Yeah, or podcasting.
Podcasting.
Podcasting, the annoying hobby that lives forever.
You two stop LinkedIn.
Will you two stop spamming my email? They discover a city in the mountainous gorge, but there's no inhabitants. They worry that there's no one left until they see the human being hunted down by the Futurekind. They catch up with the human, and Jack distracts the Futurekind by shooting up into the air.
Yeah.
That's what he always does.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
something
Known for
shocking.
it.
Oh,
Sick.
known for shooting his load. He is, yeah.
In the air.
Yeah, in the air. Oh, all the time.
It's very messy.
Yes, the Futurekind surround them as they rush to the silo, a refugee camp where the remaining humans are hiding out. The guards waste a bunch of bullets shooting at the ground instead of killing a few Futurekind.
Yeah, what was with that? Just shoot the people you don't like. And
Yeah.
Well,
I'm terribly scared of about getting eaten by.
yeah, we know why, because the BBC didn't want to see a bunch of people get shot to death. But yeah, it makes no sense in the context of the episode.
Yeah, but also, how is it some of us became the future kind
Yeah.
and some of us are still like, normal Jim Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Some of us want pursuits in comedy. And that's the only way. Like, I'm off to do it, guys.
The refugees are like, we can have no comedy. All right, I'm going off to be a Futurekind. Fuck this. File down my teeth, forget how to speak. All right, let's do this.
I need a laugh.
I like to think that the clouds were like, we should become humans again. Wait, what the fuck? Also, I want to have pointy teeth. What? What? We're gaseous clouds. We can live forever. Who
Shut
gives
up!
a
I've
fuck?
been watching Buffy.
Oh, okay.
and
That
I
shows.
want to eat your delicious body. What?
My gaseous body? No, well, I also need you to become human as well again, and then I will eat your flesh. I don't like the sound of this at all. This does not work out well for me.
I'm staying gaseous.
Our relationship counselor says it'll be good for us.
I'm staying as a cloud. No, but you're a relationship counselor. You have to come with us. Oh, okay. Can I be a download for a bit?
Oh, dear.
A young boy, Crete, helps people find their families. The doctor opens a door and sees the rocket inside the silo, hoping to take the humans to Utopia. Professor Yana shows up and thinks that Captain Jack is the doctor before being corrected. He takes them to see his setup as we pass a woman with pointy teeth.
Yeah, snarling.
Dun dun
For
dun.
no good reason.
Yeah. I'm just so tired.
Snarling.
And a set list on her hand. She had a set list written on her hand.
Okay, so I gotta have a good opener.
What's the deal with airplane peanuts?
Sorry, were you telling jokes? Rah, no, I wasn't. I'm a total human.
this
I hate
wrench.
comedy. Comedy sucks. Drama is the best. I like the idea that they were walking past and she goes, rah, and they're like, sorry, did you say something? No, don't worry about me. I'm just over here with my
Clearing my throat.
non-pointy teeth.
No, it's fine.
Professor Yana hopes that the doctor will be able to help him with his footprint system, but the doctor is briefly stumped. Martha goes rooting around in Captain Jack's bag and finds the doctor's hand left over from the Christmas invasion when he fought the Sycorax.
I like the way that she's like, you've got a hand in your knapsack.
It goes through someone's stuff, though.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Have you been through my bag?
Hey, she brought him back to life.
Yeah, and then there's a roll of condoms. It's like, fuck, what have you been doing in
Yeah,
here?
Oh, no, he rides bareback.
I know what I do.
A lot of Captain Jack nude photos.
Yes.
Jack doesn't have condoms.
It's actually a future sex toy.
Yeah.
It's got a great grip. It's the Gripmaster 2000.
And there's some tartar-shaped nipple clamps.
That was just the most ill-thought-out exercise equipment, wasn't it? The Gripmaster. The
the shake weight.
Oh, yeah.
You go, okay. Someone's laughing about that.
The Doctor believes that he is the last Time Lord, but legends of the Time Lord have not reached the ends of the universe. The planet is called Malcasero, and Chantho is the last of the native inhabitants. The Malmuth conglomeration.
Yes.
Oh, I said conglomeration.
Something quite pretty about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is, isn't there? I'd like to see what she looked like without that makeup.
No, I just meant just as the.
Oh, with the pincers?
Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah. If I was a desperate little dude at the end of the universe, I'd go out on a date with this woman.
You know, there are still other humans. You're like, nah, I'll give the
I'm
insect
going
woman
out
a
with
go.
cockroach.
Bug lady.
Bug lady.
But she has those little pincers at the side, so you kiss her and they would like grip onto you and be like, oh, okay, you can let go of me now.
Then she lays an egg in your throat.
And then you're like, oh, did you enjoy your coffee? You're like, where did you get that from?
I just imagine a hole in your ears. And you see this human girl chasing Chris down. But I like you, Chris. I like you. No, I want the bug.
Yeah.
And then she captures you, eats you, and kills you. And then from out of the bushes, Scott Driscoll comes out,
Hands over $50.
pays her $100.
With Chando.
After lovemaking of my species, we eat the human male. Oh, good.
Well, anyway, I have to go.
Hadn't thought this through. There's an old saying from Just Shoot Me that says,
My people have a saying from the text of Just Shooteth Me.
yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Professor Yana shows the Doctor the signal from out amongst the stars, calling humans to Utopia. For thousands of years, the last remaining humans have been trying to get to where the signal originates from. As they talk, Professor Yana hears the sound of drums. The Doctor has figured out that Yana doesn't know how to make the rocket system work, and that he's kept that from the humans so they can live in hope. Good thing the Doctor is around. With a blast from his sonic, he gets the system up and running.
I love Derek Jacobi's acting in this. He is so sweet and lovely and wonderful. And
then when he turns at the
it
end...
was so horrible to see him turn, but he is so good.
So creepy.
I know, Scott was saying before you got here, there's that...
How dare you talk before I get here?
I'm sorry.
Well, you will be late.
I know we are normally silent, but what were you saying about
There's a moment in the episode where you see his face and he goes from Professor Yana to the Master, and it's really well done. And it's an acting thing. Like there was no special effects or anything involved. It was all Derek Jacobi.
Yeah.
And he goes from lovely avuncular old Uncle Professor Yana to nasty, I want to end the universe, the Master.
Is it Jacobi or Jacobi? I never know.
I always say Jacobi. I could be wrong. We should ask him.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you hoping to take over, or...?
No.
Okay.
I think he did one of the plays that go wrong things.
Oh, he's done a couple of Big Finish ones.
He wasn't the Hobbit.
No.
He looks like that guy.
But I really think that I read an interview with him and he said he would have liked to have stayed on for a bit of the next episode to be an evil master just for a little while before John Sims came in. Yeah. But yeah, it was such a shock because I wasn't expecting him to just turn so evil.
Yeah. After the TARDIS is brought into the silo, the gate is abandoned as the humans board the rocket.
Yep.
I'm not sure why the Futurekind don't just knock down the gate and go in as soon as the humans retreat. They wait until the power is cut, but it's not like the gate is electrified because the people have been touching the gate, so...
No, they do mention in the episode that there's some defences, so I think there might be like auto guns or something.
Oh, okay, rightio.
Which didn't really activate when they were
They can see your teeth.
Yeah.
They see your teeth are pointy, but somehow they miss the girl who's inside the... Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's a crowd booing.
Yeah.
Boo! Oh my God, I'm not going in there.
I did put a note here on my notes when I was watching the episode, and it said this society is under the apartheid.
I like that.
This society is under apartheid. And the winner of Raw.
Please welcome to the stage. No, stop eating me. Stop eating me. Ah! And the winner of Raw would like to eat your bones. Thank you. Now, I would like everyone to come up on stage so I can congratulate each one of you as I bite into your fleshy neck. Also, come and see my Melbourne International Comedy Festival show. I want to bite your fleshy neck. 2. This time, I really mean it. Crete tells Martha that his mum used to say that the skies were made of diamonds.
Such a cute little kid.
And I'm sure that's not a bit of foreshadowing for future episodes.
Well, I didn't think so at the time.
No. The Doctor realizes that the cables holding the rocket together are made from food, gluten extract. So no gluten-free foods at the end of the universe. Professor Yana is a genius, perhaps even as smart as the Doctor.
Actually, no, that's what caused the Futurekind. They were all the people with a celiac.
Yeah. And that's what happens to them.
Yeah. They refuse gluten and vaccines, and that gives you pointy teeth if you refuse a vaccine.
Yep.
And cannibalism.
Yeah. They were like, my body, my choice, except when it's abortion. Then I don't give a shit.
Then I have a say in it.
Yeah. Also pointy teeth. The only problem is the footprint can't be activated from on board the ship. Professor Yana and Chantho will remain behind to let the humans fly to Utopia. Thankfully, the Doctor's TARDIS is available to fly them off the planet and to help power the footprint.
Yes, isn't it nice? And he's so helpful. And I'm thinking, well, isn't that lovely? They're all going to fly off to Utopia, and he's going to save Professor Yana and Chanto and Jack and
Cure him of his drum problem.
we're
Oh,
all
it'd be
gonna
great.
Be happily ever after.
I thought the people outside would attack much earlier.
Yeah.
And it never happened.
They
Except for
wait-
right
they
at the
wait
end, I'm like,
forever.
Jesus, what is this episode?
They were like, have they left yet? Oh, let's keep waiting. A little bit longer.
No, they were doing a one-day workshop in punchlines.
Oh, okay.
Seeing a 1960s police box causes Yana's drums to get louder.
Then I started to wonder what the hell was going on.
Well, they don't call it a TARDIS until later, so he's just like, 1960s police box. Martha learns that Chantho has been with Professor Yana for 17 years and is in love with him in the same way that Martha is in love with the Doctor. You might even call Chantho Professor Yana's companion.
That's when you start to go, okay. But I
Not
still
me.
started to think-
Yeah, you were like, I'm still confused.
I still didn't think the master. I still didn't think the master.
When I originally watched it, when it was on TV, didn't think the master. Obviously, in hindsight, which is 2020,
Yeah.
we all said, "Oh, that's right, it's the Derek Jacobi episode where
Yeah,
it turns
yeah.
into
Yeah.
John Sim." And it's
Yeah,
like,
so obvious afterwards. But yeah, at the time I'm thinking, he's a Time Lord. Who is he? Have they brought in the meddling monk? Have they brought in,
they so should bring in the meddling.
you
one.
know, the Minister of Chance? Have they brought in something?
It's just a random Time Lord, like, oh, hello.
It's George.
It's George.
I thought it might have been another Doctor Who who's forgotten.
Another
I didn't
regeneration.
That was
think
my
about
thought. I was
that.
like, maybe because at the end of the timeline, he's bumped into another Doctor Who.
That's a good idea.
That's
Could have been another version of the Doctor. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Because I did notice when he saw the TARDIS, he was like, "Wah?" And I'm like, oh.
Oh, man, I'm freaking out here.
He's like, my old car. My old car's parked in the basement.
Oh, no. What happened to my car?
I had one of those.
But yeah, later on when we get to it, but I didn't understand the watch bit at all.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have, because it was earlier in this season that we saw the Doctor use the watch to turn into a human, and it was the watch that allowed him to go back to being the Doctor, but he couldn't remember it.
Ah.
Well, he says, oh, it allows a Time Lord to be turned into a human. I'm like, that's real specific. I'm sure it maybe allows him to become like different species, because if it's just Time Lord to human, that's like so incredibly specific.
Yeah, but in the Doctor Who universe, humans are every fucking where.
They truly are, and also, you know, he does look like a human.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And he's half human in the TV movie.
Yeah. Do not speak to me about that piece of shit.
But most of the universe looks human.
Well, you know, and as who was it really early on, Matt said to us in one of our earliest podcasts that it is probably more likely that a bipedal
Yeah.
alien form is out there than anything else.
Sure.
So there you go.
Well, that solves that, yeah.
Yep, well, I told you. Now move on.
That's been put to bed.
Well, Tick, I can cancel this podcast.
well
That's
done.
it. I don't need to do this anymore.
In Star Trek: The Next Generation, though, they had an episode where they covered the fact that, you know, they've only got a limited budget for special effects makeup by saying that an ancient race of all-powerful aliens seeded the entire universe with our version of life, where all the planets, it would grow up with 2 arms and 2 legs and a head and 2 eyes, and yeah, just the forehead would be different on a lot of them.
That's the same in Stargate. They basically have that thing of like, oh yeah, everything started on Earth, and then they took humans to other planets, and were
And
like,
so are they all Scientologists? Because I'm fairly sure that's the Scientology. Or what's the other one? The Raelians. The Raelians
yeah.
believe that as well.
Yeah.
Raelians are a religious group.
Yeah, that love railroad tracks.
they
very
love
big
getting
on
railed.
You're like, whoa. Yeah, they love getting railed on railroad tracks.
Going down to the train station, really on.
Martha gets Chantho to swear her head off by not saying Chan at the start and Tho at the end of a sentence. Bloody Martha corrupting the youth of the stars.
I know. I mean, God knows what she said. She could have dropped the C-bomb.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't take humans anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
No. We always have to teach everyone swear words on the
Well,
way
she said the
out.
N-word. No.
No. No.
The final part of the footprint process is the couplings, but they're in a room flooded with STET radiation. Ugh.
Always the
Hate it
way.
when that happens.
They're able to keep the radiation at acceptable levels until a Futurekind woman starts messing with the wires, causing power to reduce and the STET radiation to go above acceptable levels.
She's an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy pixelated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was when the snap happened.
So somewhere else Thanos was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, did it, baby.
I mean, it's when all of these worlds collide, it gets very confusing.
Somewhere Thanos was listening to his favorite song and he's like, da 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 da. Oh shit! Oh no! What am I doing?
Who'd I
gone,
kill?
back, gone, back.
He's a big fan of the Addams Family theme.
The worker chooses to stay in the room to finish the couplings, but doesn't even get a single one done before dying. So actually, it would have been way better if he had just gotten out of the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just stands there. He tries to get one done, but he doesn't get it done, and then he dies.
It's such a ridiculous thing, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to run into this train. It's not going to stop the train. No, I'm going to do it.
Maybe he was just suicidal. He's like, I can't be bothered anymore. I got a wife out there and kids. Fuck that.
He just
Utopia,
killed
my
his version of
ass.
Scott Driscoll. He's like, what is my life?
Didn't you see that bit where he pixelated and died, and then Scott Driscoll came from out of a bush,
Out of the bush.
and then also pixelated and died because he was in that room?
Handed $100 to Professor Yano.
Captain Jack jumpstarts the override but dies in the process. Turns out they have a room that no one can enter without dying and a man who can't die.
Well,
How
thank
lucky.
God.
Yeah, fantastic. How much of Jack's life do you think is just people saying, I'm sorry, he's dead, as he resurrects?
Well, and you think if you hadn't had Jack there, then they would have had to have the switch that you need to press at the very end of a corridor that had blades, swords,
Fire.
fire, pretty much, and gunfire.
Or they would have had the same room, but they would have just like, oh, well, we're all fucked.
Yeah, let's go.
He wasted his life,
He did
He
waste
could have
his
been
life.
the greatest festival act there is. Like, step right up. You think you can kill the amazing Captain Jack? We don't think $50 or you get a swing with the sword.
But you think people are coming for the comedy, but also staying to murder him?
No, they're just coming. They're basically the whole act is they just pay.
Oh, right,
they
right,
pay
right.
and get a shot to kill him. And he's like, I didn't die. And they're like, ah.
There's a menu. You turn up, there's a menu. And it's like, well, you can
Yeah,
shoot
yeah.
him, or you can stab him, or you can electrocute him, or you can do a combo, a family combo.
Yeah, that's
Family combo.
$200.
Everyone gets to stab him all at once.
The Captain Jack rage cage. You get a bat and you get to hit him for 10 minutes.
$500 if you want to go to town on my ghoulies.
I'd like to drop an anvil on him, the Acme style.
Or a
And then I want to go to town on his
Piano.
ghoulies.
Douche, douche,
I just love that. I love that word, ghoulies.
ghoulies.
It's pretty good.
My ghoulies are sore.
Oh no, my ghoulies.
Doctor, my ghoulies.
What are you, 5?
Yes, he is
Yes.
5.
You've got ghoulies cancer.
Ghoulies cancer.
Actually, that makes it sound a little bit better.
It does. It makes it sound much more fun.
No, we just could refer to it as ghoulies bad time. You got ghoulies bad time. Oh, what? That sounds bad. It is. You're going to die.
We have to remove your left ghoulie.
Ghoulies boo boo.
I only have a ghoulie now.
Singular.
A single
We can
ghoulie.
replace it with a metal ghoulie. Don't worry.
Ding, 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 ding. All right, really go to town on my one ghoulie, thank
When
you.
you run, it sounds like a bell ringing.
So do you laugh when they say googly in cricket?
Why do they say
Now
googly?
I do now.
Yeah.
I don't watch the cricket.
Oh, there you go.
Why do they say googly?
It's a type of spin.
Ah.
Googly.
A googly.
Welcome back to cricket time.
But you will now.
Is that where they put googly eyes on the ball and
Yes.
then throw it?
Yeah.
And then it spins into their balls. And they're like, oh,
No, I had a googly googly.
Googly and
Googlied.
Wait, so can he feel pain?
Cricketers? I'm pretty sure they can feel pain.
Yeah.
The Jack guy.
Captain Jack?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I can't believe I'm in a room with 3 men and I'm the only one who knows about cricket.
I know cricket.
This does not happen often.
I don't.
I know cricket.
I mean, I played indoor
Oh,
cricket.
good, thank you.
Does indoor cricket count?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's
well,
cricket.
that's
It's sporty.
Hey, if being on internet dating profiles has taught me one thing, is that every woman has a profile that goes, I know I'm different from other girls, but I like sport. And every profile I've seen is like, I know I'm different from other girls, but I also like sport.
Maybe
Like,
that's more about you.
Yeah, and I would have to tell you that No, I know quite a few women who genuinely like sport.
Yeah, it's fine.
I also know women who don't.
It's just interesting that most people go, oh, I'm different from other girls and I like sport. It's like, you can just say you like sport. You don't have to say you're different from other girls.
I'm different from other girls because I've got googlies.
I've got so many googlies.
Because you can go to town on my googlies.
I got front googlies, back googlies.
Back googlies. I call everything googlies.
I googlies. Right,
I
can we
got
move on?
anal googlies, which are hemorrhoids.
Oh, yeah. You can put your googlies in my googlies and we can googly. Okay, you're overusing it now.
Can we move on from googlies?
Wait, how far away is the TARDIS? It's not translating everything correctly. All I'm hearing is the word googlies.
No, that's correct. That's correct. That's all I'm saying is googly, 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 googly.
My God, it's stuck on translate to a 10-year-old boy.
Sick, dude. Oh, no, it's translating wrong. It's on the 90s. Captain Jack and the Doctor head down to the coupling room with perhaps the most epic corridor running of the new series.
Lots of running. Lots of corridor running.
Yeah.
There is. I liked it.
Well,
I liked it.
there was
I
a
miss
quarry,
it.
there was corridor running, like it had everything.
I miss those nods to classic Who.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we find out that Chantho's entire outfit was made out of like condoms or something.
Condoms
bubble wrap.
and bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap
yeah.
and condoms, yeah. The Doctor reveals that he knew Jack can never die. Rose absorbed the time vortex to save the Doctor and brought Jack back to life, but ended up making him a fixed point in time and space. Mentions of travelling through time and space, Daleks, and the Time War sends Yana off on another spell. He reveals he was found as a young boy with only a broken fob watch, which Martha recognizes.
Dun, dun, dun.
And she kind of accidentally goes, you know what, you should look at that watch.
Yeah. Doesn't go, hey, maybe you should give that to me.
Yeah, or doesn't just look at it and then go, I've just got to go to the ladies.
Martha rushes to the Doctor to tell him about the fob watch, which is a chameleon arch. The rocket takes off and Professor Yana opens the fob watch as the Doctor realizes what Yana stands for. It's the last message of the Face of Bo. You are not alone. Yana locks the Hoobie gang out of the control room and lowers the defenses, letting in the Futurekind.
No.
Chantho tries to stop him. Yana will say he was provoked in killing her, but who's he going to say that to? Because he's left the he's left the Hoobie gang to get killed by the Futurekind. The people on the rocket don't know that he killed Chantho. So
You've always, and Chris will back me up on this. You've always got to have an alibi just in case you do
sure.
get asked.
Now I can tell myself I was provoked.
Well, maybe he's still planning to go to Utopia.
Yeah, but the people on the rocket ship
That's
don't know.
right. Because he has got the TARDIS, only that the Doctor locks it. He's probably got plans to go a lot of places.
He could just say the Futurekind killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But you just always need to cover your bases,
Sure.
don't you, Chris? For the murders.
Oh, yes. I jump off bridges.
That'll cover your bases.
Oh, if you jump off bridges, is that like jumping off a building where you get killed?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, officer. I couldn't have done it. I was jumping off a bridge that day.
Because you were jumping off a bridge and he pulls out his gun and he's like, wait, what are you doing? And bam, 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 bam.
In my googlies?
I have to leave you here to bleed to death.
Wow.
The death penalty for you, boy.
Oh, we're in New York.
I didn't realize.
Damn it.
The bridge I jumped off was in Australia, but now I'm in New York. New York, bam, 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 bam.
What a wonderful town.
My googlies are up and my body is down.
My blood count is down. Yana is annoyed that Chantho never asked about his watch, never told him to open it.
He's so threatening.
Yeah. As he electrocutes Chantho, he reveals his true name. Yana is the Master. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, it was awful to watch him turn so naughty.
And what was your reaction when you first saw this episode? Because, the two of you would know who the Master is.
Well, thank God it wasn't the classic Master, Anthony Ainsley. Sorry, I hated him.
See, my classic master's always been Roger Delgado.
Yeah, that's the one that was better. Yeah, it was amazing. I thought, wow, bringing back more of classic Who, more of the canon, bringing back the Master.
Sure.
Please don't let him be shit guy who just shrinks everyone.
Yeah.
Let him actually have a plan this time.
I always really liked the Master. The Master was my favourite villain.
Oh, really?
Because, like, the Daleks and the Cybermen are fine, but they've got a reason
I
to
only
hate
know the Cyberman.
But I mean, they've got reasons to hate the Doctor because they're different, but the Master's the same as the Doctor. And it's like, this is like when Superman fights bad Superman.
Yeah, I know. But didn't you find after Roger passed away and they brought in Anthony
Ainley,
yeah, Ainley, that's it. The Master, I'm not blaming him, but they wrote him that he really had no plan.
Yeah, no.
He would just turn up, shrink a lot of people,
Yep.
be a dickhead and go.
Yeah.
But that's what the Doctor is. The Doctor never has any plan. I don't know. I'm just like...
The Doctor thinks things out, whereas, the Master just turns up and says, I'm going to be the Emperor of Chaos. Well, how? I don't know.
I'll work it out.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'll shrink a few people. That'll do. I'm off.
Seems pretty chaotic to me.
Or what is a crappy one that we recently watched? I'll just replace King Richard.
The King's Demons,
Yeah.
Oh. And I think he could be the, like Moriarty.
Yeah.
But he wasn't written well enough at the end.
He has been written well enough, but he wasn't at the end. I agree.
No, and you're right. He can be a great villain. Missy was fabulous.
I really liked him in Doctor Who and the Five Doctors.
Yes, I did like that. I thought at least there was some sort of, he had a plan.
Yeah.
He didn't just shrink a lot of people and run off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, comparing to Moriarty, in the original Sherlock Holmes books, Moriarty turns up and goes, I'm going to defeat you, Sherlock Holmes. And he's like, how? And he's like, no, I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, that was nothing like that.
That's all right. No one laughed, so I just wasn't sure if we knew.
I don't know enough about this to know it was a joke.
I put my hand up and I said, guys, this is a joke.
I kind of thought you were just showing your ignorance.
Yeah.
He won't win war.
Let me try again. Sherlock, I'm going to defeat you. How? With your ghoulies. Oh, fantastic.
Kick them off a
I'm
bridge.
going to shrink him.
That's the level of comedy.
You could shrink his ghoulies.
Yeah.
Can you call this episode The Great Googly?
Googly ghoulies.
Great googly moogly.
Okay. Yes. So you're right. I have nothing against the Master. Great to see him back. I just hope that they gave him the intelligence that he needed.
I mean, I've been referring to his particular master in my head as like the war master.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like what happened with John Hurt.
Yeah. The War Doctor. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and
makes
he does stories for Big Finish under the name The War Doctor.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
The War Master, yeah.
The War Master, yeah. The War Master, yeah.
I don't know much about the Master. I didn't mind him in the last season.
Oh, yeah, the
when
season 12,
They
yeah.
went all the way to the end of Gallifrey or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's really and he's proper scary now in the new one.
It's interesting, like in the new series, like the Master just keeps getting better and better. Like,
he actually makes you nervous.
Yeah.
Whereas in the classic, at the end, he'd turn up and I'd go, oh, "This is going to be a shit episode." Oh, I'm going to take over the world. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
With her last breath, Chantho shoots the Master, initiating his regeneration. He escapes into the TARDIS as the Hoobie gang makes their way into the control room. The Master deadlocks the TARDIS door as the Doctor tries to plead with him. They're the last two Time Lords in the whole of the universe. So Derek Jacobi regenerates into John Sim, young and strong, whose voice Martha recognizes. He gets the Doctor to use his name, the Master.
Say my name.
No.
Say my name, say my name.
Say my
When no
name.
one is around me, say ghoulies.
That's what Dave's always saying to me. Say my name. Mark? Trevor? God. I can never
What's your
remember.
name again? Master? The Master sets the TARDIS to leave, but the Doctor uses his sonic screwdriver to ensure it only has a single trip and can't go wherever he wants throughout time and
Now,
space.
once again, as in the Doctor Who movie, apparently the Master just waltzes into TARDISes
Yeah.
and can bolt the door so no one else gets in. I mean, it's the Doctor's TARDIS. How can he not get the bloody door
But sometimes the Doctor can open it just by saying hello,
snapping his fingers. It annoyed me.
When it turns into a woman, he should be like, how come you let the TARDIS take you? Like, I didn't, I just wanted to change.
Do they ever
We were on a break.
Do they ever physically fight?
As in fist fight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Has Doctor Who ever fought anyone? Like,
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's had sword fights.
Yeah, and the third Doctor was a master of Venusian Aikido.
Venusian Aikido.
Okay.
And so is Jodie's Doctor if she wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You just want to see the Doctor just beat the shit out of someone?
I'd love to see Doctor Mortal Kombat.
Well, the first Doctor would hit he was an old very
He's like, I'm
old
out.
guy.
I'm out. Yeah. What's that? There's a fight? Well, I gotta go. Bye.
No, he'd hit people over the head with things, and
So you keep it down, you rowdy fighters. Like, sorry, Mr.
the Fifth Doctor shot a couple of people.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he had to.
Look, I don't endorse genocide, but I'm gonna beat the fucking shit out of you. Let's go. 12 rounds in the cage, motherfucker. Oh, I didn't know the TARDIS had an MMA ring. Yeah, it does.
Got everything, baby.
The TARDIS dematerializes, leaving the Hoobie Gang to the wrath of the Futurekind as the credits roll.
Yeah, what a great cliffhanger. So excited to see John Sims because I loved him in Life on Mars.
Yeah.
How did she know? How did she recognize the voice?
Oh, he's a politician in her time. Yeah.
So all in the episodes leading up, we've heard these snippets of Harold Saxon wanting to be the Prime Minister, politician this, Harold Saxon does this.
Yeah.
That's the voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Although, how you would recognize just a random politician's voice?
Well, if it was Scotty, I probably would.
Yeah.
Did you hear the interview with Scott? I was going to say Scott Driscoll.
Yes.
Did you hear the interview with
Good interview.
Yes,
Scott
good,
Morrison on Hack on Triple J?
No.
Where is that the one where he covered the fact that he apparently didn't shit himself in the Engadine McDonald's in 1997?
I don't know, but it basically tried to give like the normal. I didn't hear the full thing, but he tried to give the normal sort of politician answers about. Oh yeah, this is why we've been doing really good actually. Blah blah blah, and the interviewer was like, can you just give me a straight answer? Like just get. And he's just like trying to do his normal politician-y thing. Yeah. And then she was like, no, it's a simple thing. You just tell me yes or no. Blah blah blah.
This is a closed question, by the way, Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. That's a politician thing, isn't it?
But there's a famous story that he apparently urban legend that Scott Morrison, coming back from a football game, stopped to get some food at the Engadine McDonald's and shit himself.
Wow. The food was that bad.
We hadn't even got his food yet.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, wait, I'm full. I'm too full for food. Wait a second.
Making room.
What do I want? Give me a second. No, I have everything. Thank you. Sir, you need to leave.
But he brought it up. Like, no one else on this interview brought it up. He specifically mentioned.
He's like, and I didn't shit in that McDonald's. Like, excuse me? Like, I mean, my googlies, I gotta go.
Is this Scott Morrison here? Yes, it's me.
So we're all staring at the pocket watch.
Scott has brought in his fob watch and we're all staring at it.
It's so cool.
We've been recording for over an hour and now Nicchia's like decided to...
Where'd you get it?
ABC shop.
Pretty. My pretty.
Did it come in? Wasn't it a set with? Did it come with something else? Or?
No. So there was two fob watches. This is the more expensive of the two.
Oh, right.
The
Does
cheaper
it work?
One, kinda. It needs batteries.
Sure.
But the cheaper one was a plastic fob watch that came with the Journal of.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really nice.
How do you open it?
The bit at
Press
the
the
top.
button on the top.
And if you hit the button on the side, it glows.
How do you get your fob watch open?
He hasn't opened his; it's broken.
Yeah.
I store mine in my belly.
Ooh. No one will ever get it. Do you mean you ate it, right? Is that When you say I store it in my belly.
I thought it was a biscuit.
Yeah,
and then he's like, where's my watch? I'm like, oh my God, I thought it was a Tim Tam.
Chris, what did you do with that hamburger? I stored it in my belly. You mean you ate it? Yeah. I stored it in my belly. I stored it in my belly, and then I'll later store it in the toilet.
There was a time when every man had a fob watch.
Yeah,
It was required.
I own about 8 because I'm a steampunker. But yeah,
I think they're just
I love 'em.
so great.
That was back in the time when they speak like, let's
see?
go and have a brandy down at the bar.
What do you mean
see?
watch? Fuck that. I've got a fob watch.
And a snuff box.
Is it a fog or a fob?
Fob.
Because it go in the fob pocket of your vest.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
And the fob pocket was named that because you put your fob watch in there. So
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
It's chicken and the egg.
Okay, first, the fob pocket or the fob
Gahoolies.
watch?
Yeah,
The Gahoolies came first.
Parallel evolution.
Yes.
Some really good techno babble in this episode.
Yeah.
Really
Derek
good
Derek
techno
Jacobi gets to get a lot of techno babble in this. The thing on the what's it and the who's it and the wow.
And I did put a note down here that he did there's a really good angry god doctor moment.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
And I've got a note here. I can't remember what it was in relation to, but I said sexist much question mark.
Oh, yeah, because the master goes, I was defeated by an insect and a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah. You throw like a girl.
It'd be okay if it was a male insect.
Yeah.
Well, the master's not a nice person.
No.
Yeah. Maybe they reproduce asexually, so maybe it was both.
Yeah, that's right. What would he know?
Ugh, ridiculous. I mean, he's only known her for 17 years.
Yeah.
And he's an anti-vaxxer.
Yes, yeah.
I know. He was wearing
And a vaccinated woman at that. Ugh. She's going to become a Futurekind. As we always do, we like to give the episode a score out of 5.
I am going to give this I've decided a 4 out of 5.
Okay, sure.
It has to lose some points for the Futurekind because they don't make any sense. The one who gets by and then, is obviously snarling and run around sniffing people. Yeah. No, that's pretty much about it. I think that there were a few things that annoyed me. But, yeah, it's a 4. I remember the first time I saw it, I was up off the couch, I was sitting back down, I was up again, I was, oh my God, what's going to happen? And the master scared me. So,
Yeah.
Sure.
first time in a long time.
Yeah, I'm also going to give it a 4. Same reason. Having Captain Jack, it's basically a standard story, but it's one of those stories where the story doesn't matter that much. It's all about the building up to Captain Jack is back, bringing back the master for the next 2 episodes. So for me, yeah, it's a 4. I like watching it. I really enjoy it. Like I said, I always watch this one when I want to watch the last 2 episodes as well.
Yep.
For me, it just all connects together, even though the story doesn't really mean, well, it sort of connects into the next 2 episodes, but it doesn't have a huge weight to do with it. But yeah, I enjoy it. It leads into literally some of my favorite episodes of the series, my favorite arc, basically. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to the next 2 episodes. So 4 from me. Scott.
Look, I'm probably going to go very similarly to a 4. It loses a point for the Futurekind. Mm-hmm. It loses a point for the very obvious, we've shoehorned in this acronym.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I was nearly going to say that, but that was earlier that we got the acronym, I thought. But it's crap.
And then it gets 1 point back for the master.
Oh, yeah.
Chris.
I'm going to give it a 1 gahoogly.
Get the fuck out. You get the fuck out right now.
There is no way he's ever going to make 8 episodes.
When you say 1 gahoogly, do you mean 2 because there's 2 gahooglies?
No, just 1.
Just the 1.
No.
1 out of 5.
I had no idea what was going on the whole freaking episode.
But you loved it.
I was very disappointed with their idea, what the future 100 trillion years to play with it. I was like, Jesus Christ. But, it's still 1. Like, the whole, like, there was...
that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I just, there was too much thing. I didn't know who
It's
this
okay if
Jack
you
was.
hate it. If you
I didn't know
hate it,
who
it's
Jack
fine if you
was. I
hate
didn't know
it.
the relationship with that. And then, I just did... There was too much happening.
Your opinion is valid, Chris. It's wrong, but it's valid.
I gave it 1 because I thought the bug woman was cute.
Yeah.
And...
I want to do her later, I know.
and I'd get in her nest. Yeah, I thought...
That was it? The only
thought,
point you're giving is because the bug lady was hot?
Yeah, and
Okay,
I kind of thought that the guy... It was a nice reveal at the end, the master, but I don't think it saved
Yep.
saved it.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
And then that is really interesting because reading these reviews ago, you don't have to be a dedicated Doctor Who fan to understand and enjoy this episode. Yeah. And Chris has just proved you do.
When you look at it, you really do. You need the information of like...
Fob, Jack.
You at least have to have been watching the season up till now to know what the fuck the chameleon arch is.
I did like the one thing in the episode I enjoyed was the master saying he took up this character, but it was so good he forgot about his. Yeah. I'm like, oh well, give yourself toot your own horn. That his acting was so good. He's like, who am I?
And it's interesting that he is a good person.
Yeah.
Because I always think, at his heart somewhere, the master was good at some point. I mean, I think he just needs a good hug.
We're all a kid sometime.
Yeah.
I like the idea that, when you're a spy and you get a dossier of like who the person's going to play, he's like, all right, who's my next role? He opens it, it's all just blank. He's like, yes, I've learned all of this. Fantastic. Yeah. I know nothing now.
Are the other 2 episodes worth watching?
Yeah.
I like them.
Actually, it would probably be a good idea to watch it because it'll give you a better idea of where the story was going.
Yeah.
The 2 previous? No.
The 2 next ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll give you an idea. But watching the one where the Doctor becomes a human in the middle of the season.
Oh, yeah, that one is
great.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Definitely.
And that's a really good episode.
Human
for
nature and the family of blood.
Yeah, that one's a really good one that you don't have to have a lot of backstory about the Doctor to enjoy.
No. You don't. I just love that.
But that
two-parter.
explains what the chameleon arch is, basically, and why he uses it.
Okay.
All right, we have a brand new question for our two new guests, suggested by our very own Scott Driscoll.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, he has suggested some questions we could ask new guests, because obviously we know what your Time Lord names are. We have the host and the awkward charmer.
Is the question going to be how much do you like Scott Driscoll?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Damn it.
So Nicchia, how much do you like Scott Driscoll?
Well, a fair bit, really.
All right. Well,
yeah.
she's being
How
murdered.
much
Chris?
money would you give Scott Driscoll?
How much money can you give Scott?
Yeah, this is a legal contract. If you say it on a podcast, it has to happen. No, this question suggested by Scott Driscoll is, what would your TARDIS get stuck as? So the Doctor's
Ooh, I
TARDIS
like
has
that.
got stuck as a police box. What would your TARDIS get stuck as?
Ooh.
Now, given that I suggested the question, I probably should have been thinking about this, and I didn't. What would my TARDIS get stuck as?
I assume it's something that you do a lot or do an object.
Yeah, something
Can it be
about
as big
yourself,
as
yeah.
small as you want it to be, or
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a chameleon
you
circuit.
have to be able to get into it. Yeah,
Well, the Master had one that was basically a concrete
A
garden
plinth, yeah.
a what?
Like a column, a column.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mine would be a 19. Mine would be a 2001 Toyota Corolla hatchback.
That's pretty good.
Why?
That was my first ever car,
Oh,
and I
okay.
spent a lot of time in it. So I just imagined it would be nostalgic, and I'd go back. No, actually, it wasn't. It wasn't right. Mine was a 1987 Toyota Corolla hatchback, and it was white with black trim.
Oh, nice.
And it had the best clutch ever, and that would be my TARDIS, I reckon.
You're like, oh, hey, do you want to jump in my TARDIS? I'll show you the back seat where I fingered a girl. Let's go.
She's still there.
She's still there. She's still waiting to be finished off.
It's a bug woman.
She's still hoping it'll get better.
I was playing with her internal milk.
Oh.
Okay, so I think one of my first ever jobs as a host was being a DJ at a roller skating center. So I think I'd be the DJ booth
Oh,
from
right.
that roller skating
Oh,
center.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Quite like
Also, where you fingered a girl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
bug
now he's
woman.
thinking about it.
Bug woman.
No, not in
She's
the
actually
booth.
going between us.
Not in a booth, because you were professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
really
you
am
would say, I'm
stumped.
taking a 10-minute break to finger a bug woman. I'll be back.
And everyone was like, sure, you're going to finger a bug woman. Yeah.
We're going to
rightio.
turn off the lights now and have
Yeah.
couple skating.
And then you'd meet up with a swarm of bees,
Yeah.
a swarm of wasps. And you're like,
with face clamps.
yeah, all right. So I want you to go to Cardiff, and I want you to fuck with Chris Martin.
Mine would be, and I had to really think this through, but I had a favourite tree on the farm near one of the dams that I used to climb up in, and I wanted to be able to walk inside it. It was one of those big, gorgeous trees. It would be that tree.
Sure.
And then wherever I went, there it'd be, and I'd get in however I got in. But yeah, it'd be a tree.
Mm,
Nice.
Okay. Awesome.
The tree from Nicchia's farm. There were a lot.
What sort of tree was it?
It was a gum.
Okay.
And it was right near the dam bank, but it was quite thick. So it must have been a few of them. I can't remember. I used to play in it a lot. So I kind of have a picture of it in my head. The people who've bought the farm, I'll turn up there one day, take a photo.
It's
Will you
for
take
my podcast.
It's
Fuck,
my
it's another
TARDIS, you
podcaster.
dickhead.
Jesus.
What about you, Adam?
I would say like a briefcase, because I
Ooh.
always wanted a briefcase when I was growing up.
Ooh.
I thought, that's the height of becoming an adult, is getting a briefcase.
Are you Adrian Mole?
I once went to a free dress day. I dressed up as Chandler from Friends
And
with the
took
vest
a
and everything.
briefcase.
And for the entire day, everyone kept asking me, are you going to a job interview after school? And I was like, no, I'm dressed up like Chandler from Friends. But because it was like adult clothes, basically.
Could that
Yeah.
question be any more stupid?
Oh, man. I think of myself back when I used to do, uni. And I was like, I would punch me in the ghoulies so hard. Jesus Christ, I pissed myself off. But yeah, it would be a briefcase.
Okay.
Okay.
Because mine be that or a wool press. But because, well,
Wool press.
we had wool presses in the sharing shed, and I used to love to hide in it. But I just think if you land a wool press, we're in the middle of Brisbane.
Quick, jump in my wool press. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. It's the thing that looks out of place. Okay.
Or
No, I'll go
maybe
the tree.
an Australia Post box.
Ooh.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I like that.
But you have to crouch down to get in.
One
wouldn't
of
You
the
got
ones
to
on
open
a
up the
pole.
flap and then you jump in. Yeah.
I reckon the body of Dwayne the Rock Johnson. And you just get inside him and he just takes you places.
Quick, jump into my body of. Is he alive? Can he talk to people,
He
or
can
he's
talk
like
and stuff.
it's just his dead body laying
They're like,
there?
oh my god,
quick,
it's
jump
Dwayne
into
the Rock
his-
Johnson. And then he'll just go start flashing and disappear. Like,
Didn't the Keeper of Traken statue move when they... Wasn't that a TARDIS?
Yeah, it was.
Didn't it move as well?
It
Wasn't
did.
it Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Yeah, it was. In a
Yeah,
hat.
yeah.
Now, I'm not going to have the tree. Some bastard would cut it down while I wasn't there. I'm going wool press.
Okay, all right. You got a wool press.
I got a wool press.
You got a 1987 Toyota Corolla
Yep.
in white.
With a girl who's still waiting to be fulfilled in the back seat.
Hey! My man Chris is sexually fulfilled. Wait, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Yours would be
The DJ booth.
DJ booth, and mine
booth.
is a briefcase.
How do you like open it up?
Open it and then like put it over your head, basically, so you jump in, or you put it on the ground and you jump into it.
it.
Yes.
Oh God, you're like Felix
love
the
it.
cat.
Well, I didn't want another car. Could be another car.
Castle Grayskull.
Yes. The toy, you know how it
Yeah,
opens
yeah,
up?
yeah.
Oh my God. I love that toy. You just carry a Castle Grayskull wherever you are. Like, is that a 1987 Castle Grayskull? Fuck yeah, it is.
It keeps getting stolen and sold on eBay.
You have to keep buying it back on eBay. Like, oh, you paid $500 for that? Yeah, but it's worth like millions of dollars. They don't know what it is.
Well, that's a good one. I like that.
All right, fantastic. Scott, do you have anything you would like to plug?
Titanic, the movie, the play. That'll be happening in Brisbane.
Chris, anything to plug?
I'm doing Stand vs Improviser in September. It's a Friday night in September at Good Chat Comedy, so come along to that.
Oh, awesome.
You can catch the hosts on Facebook at Nicchia Shoot Comedy and Adam O'Sullivan Comedian. D4WH is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The podcast is available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and many more. Nicchia also hosts Neighbourhood Watching with Beck and Nick, looking at the weird and wacky neighbours just over the back fence. Available where all podcasts are. Adam regularly works with Big Fork Theatre in Brisbane. You can find him in some of the online shows on the Big Fork YouTube channel and also has sketches in the Get It In Ya podcast. If you enjoy D4WH, please consider jumping onto our Patreon and donating. We release episodes early and, for as little as $5 a month, we release mini episodes in between our normal episodes. D4WH is part of the Nerd Infinite, which can be found at thenerdinfinite.com.
Thank you very much, Scott. Thank you
welcome.
very much, Chris.
Thank you.
I'm glad there was no bloodshed because I do want to get my bond back. So
Yet.
thank you guys for damn it. I'm going to put you out the back. My backyard here looks like a prison exercise yard. So I'll pop you out there.
All right, and let me just put on my bikini so we can start this round off nice. And until next time, keep searching the skies for the Doctor. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been a production of the Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?